Good morning, everybody. Starting off our top 5 news this morning is an update on that horrific plane crash in the French Alps. A black box has been recovered from the site of the crash, along with several pieces of debris. Searchers described a violent-looking scene when coming across the wreckage scattered throughout the mountainside. Officials say the Germanwings flight, a subsidiary of Lufthansa Airlines, was less than an hour from landing in Germany when it unexpectedly took an 8-minute dive before crashing. The pilot sent out no distress call and had lost contact with air traffic controllers. Officials say there is no sign that foul play or terrorism were factors in the crash. Among the victims of the crash were 16 students and 2 teachers on their way home to their small German town from an exchange trip in Spain. As soon as the news broke, community members began gathering at the high school where the students attended. Now, the town's mayor says the news was pretty much the worst thing that could happen. The opera world is also mourning the loss of 2 singers who had just come off of performances in Barcelona. 150 people were on board the plane. All are believed to have died. All right, guys, back home, President Obama has agreed to slow down the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. The decision comes after a meeting with Afghanistan's president at the White House. Under the new timeline, the U.S. would leave the nearly 10,000 troops already in the country in place instead of downsizing to nearly half by the end of the year. But Obama still insists all troops will be home by the end of his presidency. In other news, police in Vermont are now looking for any tips and links between the disappearance of a college student in the 70s and Robert Durst. Investigators say the student visited Durst's health food store in Vermont the same day she disappeared back in 1971. Now, the victim's body was never found. Durst has been locked up since March 14th when he was arrested in New Orleans in connection with the death of his friend Susan Berman in Los Angeles in 2000. He is currently being held on weapons charges. And last in your top 5 headlines, jurors in the Boston Marathon bombings trial continue to get a look into the life of the surviving suspect, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Jurors saw a video yesterday in court of Tsarnaev and his brother Tamerlan outside of a New Hampshire gun range where they rented guns and practiced shooting just weeks before the bombings. The same type of ammunition they practiced shooting with was reportedly the same used to kill MIT police officer Sean Collier, and also the same used in a major gun battle with police. Now, Dzhokhar faces the death penalty if he is convicted. You know, the scary thing about all of this is kind of learning about how much they really premeditated this, and that all of this was going on.
No one
planning
knew.
to kill all of these innocent people, and nobody knew. So that, to me, is what's really terrifying. And just going into the minds of these two, you know, just so much evil. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on that, but definitely
I think it
still
should
in our
send out
hearts.
a message to everyone that we need to be more vigilant of everything, because you never know, it'll happen right under our nose, you know?
Yeah, it's still heartbreaking to me.